Okay, the grading criteria that we used, his components, the mastery grades, and the course grading weights. So as I was talking about the mastery concept. You can take a chapter pretest for the first chapter in our course, and you have to get a grade of 90 or above in order to not have to do the homework or the test for that chapter. It's not included in the weights. No one yet has made a 90 or above. We had it originally set up where you could take a pretest for each of the chapters, but we decided it wasn't worth the time because nobody was passing it. So we said you can do the first one, and then the other ones are optional. You don't have to do it because we did make the pretest be done in the room under password protection, so we knew that they were doing that test and nobody else was doing it for them. We also make the post-test under password protection, so they have to do that in the classroom. The homework and quizzes, they can do at home. So homework is 80% of the grades, and the grading weight on that is 10%. So they have to make an 80% on every single homework in each section before they can get out of that chapter. Okay? So they can do part of one section and another part of one section and make like a 40 or a 50, but before they go on and take the quiz or the test, they have to be up to 80% in those homeworks. The notebook, we want them to have at least a 70%, but most notebook grades are 90 to 100. We look at it as part of our competencies, is we want to have them efficiently know how to verbalize and to write what they're learning. So we also look, it's good for them to understand how you take notes. Some of the colleges in Kentucky do not make them do notebooks, but we do because we think it's a good skill for them to have. It's 5% of their grade. One of my students that had the extension last semester didn't do a notebook at all. And I didn't flunk him because he didn't have it, but it did take his grade down from a B to a C. So this semester he said that he did learn that he will do the notebook every time. The quizzes, you have to make 75% or better on the quizzes, and they're 10% of the grade. The practice post-test, we implemented the practice post-test this semester based on what we learned from last semester. People were failing the test too often, okay, when they first took them, the chapter test. So we put a practice post-test in that they could take as many times as they wanted to at home. It didn't count against the number of times they could take the test. It didn't count toward their grade, but we told them if you can make a 70 or better on the practice post-test, you're going to be able to pass the real test when you come to class. So that has been helpful to them. The chapter post-test, you have to make a 70 or better on it, and that's 40% of their overall grade. The final exam, you have to make a 70% or better on it, and it is 25% of the overall grade, and it is a comprehensive final exam. And we also have a practice test for that they can do also. Attendance, there's not a grade on attendance. We do give them a grade actually, but it's not a minimum grade that you have to have. And it's 10% of their overall grade. And one thing that we did agree on is that you had to make a 70% or higher in everything to pass the course. So someone was saying yesterday for their college that you could fail the final exam and still pass the course. You can't with the way we implement it. You have to make a 70% or higher on the final. And we're finding that is not a problem.